People of the planet. Well, welcome back to my channel. This is Port Charles Public Radio, brought to you by me. My name is Abby, and this is my new apartment. I'm going to keep saying that until it doesn't feel new anymore. So, I am a total loser because I took myself out to eat today for Valentine's Day, came straight home, and went immediately to bed to watch General Hospital. Didn't even change. Barely made it through, but I needed to be here to go ahead and do my review. So let's get into it. I don't think I wrote everybody down today. To be honest, I think I'm missing some people because all I've got is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All I've got is 12 people. That can't be right, is it? I mean, I guess there was only 12 people on today. How weird. Oh, Obrecht. Okay, so with Obrecht, 13 people. Whoop-de-doo. Let's get into this quick conversation, shall we? So Nell came running into Chase's arms. Oh, thank God you're here, and gave him a hug. He was very, And then we come back to, and he's like, you just assaulted me. Hilarious. I love that you just assaulted me. So, him and Willow told her that if she didn't go the fuck away and stay gone, then they were going to inform her parole officer that she was stalking. So that sent her packing. Then she went to try to talk to Mike. Actually, no, she didn't go to try to talk to Michael and Sasha. She just happened to run into them at Kelly's and then complain that, they were stalking her. Sasha's like, do we break it to her that we were here first? And Michael was like, don't bother. It doesn't matter. What do you want, Nell? She was like, yes, of course. I want more money. Duh. This is your last time to give it to me. He was like, girl, what you don't understand is like you do have a right to those shares, but they are not completely given to you yet. They are still tied up in probate. I can sit and wait for the next 2 to 5 to 10 years on it. Can you? So that sounded like a big fat no, right? So her last chance there was to sell those shares to Valentine, which it looks like it's going to happen because Valentine went through his own crazy crisis tonight, realizing, hey, buddy, happy Valentine's Day. To you too, Kyle. So Valentine had his own little craziness today, talking to Helena's ghost, or at least talking to himself with her ghost. um, yeah, it all made sense. I think once you started talking about it out loud, he he realized that the money was always meant to go to Spencer because Spencer was the true heir to the Cassadine throne. And he realized that is why Charlotte just magically appeared to him one day out of nowhere, because she is the perfect heir to both Helena and Luke Spencer, which is what she always wanted. She didn't, she didn't get a child between them like she always wanted. She got a grandchild. So that kind of solidifies my question of whether or not he had faked Charlotte being his, because that was something I was always curious about, was like, you know, was that a lie? Is this child in fact Stavros's and he just like stole it and claimed it to be his own? Having this crazy mental breakdown with Helene's ghost, I think can go ahead and prove that he was telling the truth about that little girl. So Yeah, after having that crazy breakdown, realizing he's not a Cassadine, what he's known his whole life, and that he's lost Nina and and everything he's ever known except his child, who also has that Cassadine name. Uh, he decided to sell the shares because he's got money and he needs to be a part of a new family, right? So, ooh, we'll see what happens there. Um, um, so Nina and Jax, we can talk about them. Um, so she walked up to him and told him she can't stop thinking about him, coming to his side of the island. And, he said, he thought that they needed to take a step back because we're in a Me Too movement era and he didn't want to seem like he was taking advantage of her. She let him know that she talked to lawyers, not because two lawyers, not because she was being taken advantage of, but because we are in that kind of movement and she didn't want the world to get him in trouble or whatever her excuse was, to make sure that like she wouldn't get in trouble for sleeping with her boss. And as long as there was no quid pro quo type of action and it was extremely consensual on both ends, then they should be good. And he was like, well, I guess because you've looked into it like that, it sounds like you want it. And she was like, oh, does it? And he was like, yeah. But what did he say? He said this was her leap to take, not just his. Um, and she said, it sounds like you've never had your heart broken before. He said, no, I have many, many times. But I've learned my lesson. I've learned what went wrong and how to move forward and embrace the good. And that stuck with me as much as it did Nina. She said, embrace the good. He was like, yeah, embrace the good things that come with love and just keep going. Um, ooh, let me just say, that is a horrifying thought. But that also comes from somebody like me who is a pessimist when it comes to heartache and heartbreak and love in general. Um, Good for Jax. I would love to fall in love with somebody like Jax who would remind me that the baggage that comes with me is not just who I am, which is something he also said to her tonight. So um, they went for it. And when I say went for it, I mean they went back to his bedroom, not just his apartment or his hotel room that, not Helena, that Carly gives him to stay in, free of charge because it was his hotel that he gave her. Um, they like went for it. They went into his bedroom, got champagne, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, we're on the floor of his room, not just the bed afterwards. So they like really went for it. He said he'd teach her how to surf. She says, is that a metaphor for something? He was like, no, I can surf. I can teach you. She said, "Want a wetsuit?" "No, I'd prefer you wore hardly anything." "Deal." And it looked like they were gonna go back for round 2. So, I think Nina really is a sexual character, and I think Valentine really swooned her from the get-go, and she could be a type of character that likes to, you know, find somebody to stick with and stay with, but, she seemed to get ready to move on with him pretty quickly. I think once the sexual connection is there, like it was for her and Valentine that one night, just that crazy one night stand, it just never went away. And I think that's going to be the case for her and Jax. Sexual chemistry was there in the beginning, and I think it's going to be there until it's no longer there. So can't wait to see how that crazy fiasco goes. Maybe I don't know. We're gonna see Nell leaving his hotel room, and well, Nina has left Jax's or walking out with Jax. To find those two. Who the fuck knows? Something weird like that. Um, yeah, can't believe those two really went for it like that. So that's their story. We can go on to Alexis, Sam, and Neil and Obrecht. I mean, there wasn't a lot to tell there. Alexis went to go have dinner with Sam on this Valentine's Day, which I don't think it was Valentine's Day in the show. I think everybody was just hanging out. Obrecht randomly showed up at Neil's dinner and started, asking about therapeutic advice, which made Alexis slightly jealous, and Neil could tell. I mean, fuck, even Obrecht could tell, Sam could tell, everybody could tell. Um, and they confirmed that this was not, in fact, a real date. It was just her crazy ass needing attention. And then it looked like she stepped outside for some fresh air where she found Valentine having a moment. She said, "Congratulations. This is a win. You are no longer connected to the crazy Cassidines. You are all smart and no crazy. It's you got off, you know?" And he's like, "I'll try to look at it that way." And she was like, "Please do." So they're not related. That's crazy. I wonder if he's gonna go on a search to find his father. If I was him, I would. Who the fuck is his patronage, you know? Only one way to find out. Um, that's what I look forward to. There wasn't a lot to talk about there. And oh, you know what? Yeah, I forgot Lucas and Brad. Okay, so there were 15 people on today. Um, Nell's crazy ass, yeah, she jumped from Chase and Willow assaulting me to running into Michael and Sasha, and then running into Valentine at the end. We can circle back now to Lucas and Brad. This is the one last bullshit that I want to talk about. Because why not save the worst for last? Yeah, Brad wants to move to Portland and take Ellie's job, and he secured a spot for Lucas at the hospital because he's a fucking doctor, and Lucas is on board with it because Julian won't go the fuck away. And so they called Sam for advice. No, she showed up for a surprise visit. And since she was there, they asked for her advice on it. And her response was like, "Yeah, because Julian's a bottomless pit and you want to stay the fuck away from him." Where is this coming from? I don't understand how that's like. Why is that? How is that a random factor that Julian's a problem and it's not getting any better? I just don't. I don't get that one. And then this led to her saying that like she should be the designated guardian for Brad and Lucas when it comes to Wiley because she's on parole. So sorry. Something's on my leg there. She's the one who can stay there in case. I don't understand what that meant. I could have missed something there because I'm pretty tired, but what? Why is it that because she's stuck in Port Charles, she should be the designated? I don't know. So if anyone's listening or gonna watch this later and they can give me an answer to that one, because I might be pondering on that nonsense all weekend, please feel free to comment. That's all I got about this episode. Um, this was a crazy work week. I'm exhausted. I want to tell everybody that I hope you enjoyed your stupid holiday, um, as I enjoyed my meal today. Thanks for sticking with me this long, and I will see you all on Monday. Peace to the planet. And as Nell says, bye.